Hello, space enthusiasts! We are here with a brand new video in the Science and Space category. Today, we are going to talk about the amazing events that will happen in the sky in July 2024. If you're ready, let's get started. One of the most exciting events in the sky this month will be the Buck or Thunder full moon. This full moon will occur on Sunday morning, July 21st, 2024 at 6:17 a.m. EDT. This full moon will last from Friday evening until Monday morning, so we're in for a full moon weekend. According to the Maine Farmer's Almanac, which first published Indian full moon names in the 1930s, the Algonquin tribe called this full moon Buck Moon. The name refers to the period when the male deer begin to grow new antlers. It is also called Thunder Moon because of the frequent summer thunderstorms. Watching the full moon shine brightly in the sky on full moon nights is always mesmerizing, but the story of this particular full moon makes it even more special. When the full moon is called Thunder Moon, it is impossible not to talk about lightning safety. While most lightning strikes the ground from the lower part of the storm, rare positive lightning strikes can reach areas far away from the top of the storm. This type of lightning is more powerful and dangerous. Positive lightning can strike even in a clear sky, far away from the storm. Therefore, if you can hear thunder, you are at risk of being struck by lightning. Being vigilant about lightning safety can save lives. Especially if you are in open spaces and you hear thunder, you should immediately move to a safe area. Going back to the history of the full moon, Europeans called this full moon the hay moon, and sometimes called it the mead moon. Mead is a drink made by fermenting honey with water and was often consumed in early summer. For Hindus, Buddhists, and Jains, this full moon is known as Guru Purnima. This special full moon is a time to honor spiritual teachers and guides. For Theravada Buddhists, this full moon is celebrated as Asaya Puja, when the basic teachings of Buddhism begin. This full moon symbolizes the Buddha's first sermon after reaching nirvana, and the beginning of the teaching of the Four Noble Truths of Buddhism. This full moon also plays an important role in many cultures and religions. For example, it falls in the middle of the 6th month of the Chinese lunar calendar, and many festivals are organized during this period. In the Islamic calendar, it falls in the middle of the month of Muharram. Muharram is one of the 4 holy months in Islam, in a period when war is forbidden. In this month, peace and tranquility are more important. Returning to lightning safety, most lightning strikes the ground at the bottom of a thunderstorm. However, positive lightning can reach areas far from the top of the storm, and this type of lightning is more powerful and dangerous. According to NOAA's Lightning FAQ page, most lightning strikes occur within 10 miles of the main storm, but lightning detection equipment has confirmed lightning strikes up to almost 50 miles away. Positive lightning spreads over longer distances and is therefore usually 5 to 10 times more powerful. This type of lightning tends to start fires in dry areas outside the storm's rainfall area. Although positive lightning strikes are rare, they account for less than 5% of all lightning strikes. The fact that they come without warning and are more powerful makes them more deadly. Remember, if you can hear thunder, you are at risk of being struck by lightning. In this full moon cycle, daylight hours will shorten as the summer season progresses. For example, on Sunday, July 21st, 2024, the day of the full moon, morning twilight will begin at 4:52 a.m. The sun will rise at 6 a.m. The sun will reach a maximum altitude of 71.4 degrees at 1:15 p.m. The sun will set at 8:28 p.m., and evening twilight will end at 9:37 p.m. A month later, on August 21st, the morning twilight will start at 5:24 a.m. The sun will rise at 6:26 a.m. The sun will be at a maximum altitude of 63.6 degrees at noon. The sun will set at 7:57 a.m., and the evening twilight will end at 8:58 p.m. As you can see, the days are getting shorter, an indication that we are approaching the end of summer. Many meteor showers will also be observable in July and August. For example, the South Delta Aquarids meteor shower will peak on July 31st with 25 meteors per hour. This shower is one of the most active annual meteor showers for the southern hemisphere, but it can be difficult to watch from northern latitudes. In past years, observers from Australia, 1977, and Crete, 2003, have reported outbursts of up to 40 meteors per hour a few days before the peak date. On the morning of July 31st, the best time to observe will be after midnight and before moonrise. The origin of the meteors will rise from the east-southeast horizon at about 10:15 on July 30th. Half of the meteors will be hidden by the horizon when the origin rises, so more meteors may be visible when the origin is higher in the sky. However, the moon will rise at 1:58 a.m., at which point the visibility of meteors will be reduced due to moonlight. Therefore, our time frame for seeing meteors will be quite short. The main body of this meteor shower is not known for certain, but they are caused by dust entering the atmosphere at a speed of 41 kilometers per second, 92,000 miles per hour. Such a rapid entry causes the air to heat up until it becomes compressed and white hot. This year will be a good year for the annual Perseid meteor shower. The Perseids 007 PER meteor shower will peak on Monday, August 12th, 2024, between 9 p.m. and 12 a.m. EDT. About 100 meteors per hour can be seen at the peak under ideal conditions, making it one of the top 3 meteor showers of the year for the Northern Hemisphere, the others being the Quadrantids in early January and the Geminids in mid-December. The closest peak time will be the morning of August 12th. The moon will set a little before midnight on August 11th, and the meteors will rise before dusk begins in the northeastern sky, at 5:16 a.m. before morning twilight begins. The peak is broad and high activity has been reported after the peak in past years, so be sure to keep an eye on the sky on the nights before and after the peak. The Perseid meteor shower occurs when dust from Comet 109P/Swift-Tuttle enters our atmosphere at 59 kilometers per second, 132,000 miles per hour. Such a rapid entry causes the air to heat up until it becomes white hot from compression. The best conditions for observing these meteors would be to go somewhere far away from light sources and city light pollution when the weather is clear and cloudless. Make sure you allow enough time to acclimatize your eyes to the darkness. The rod cells in your eyes are more sensitive to low light levels, but play little role in color vision. Your color-sensing cone cells are concentrated near the center of your vision, and more rod cells are at the edge of your vision. Some meteors can be faint, so it is important to have a large sky field. Your color vision, cone cells, adjust to darkness in about 10 minutes, but your more sensitive night vision continues to improve for an hour or more, between 45 minutes at most. The more sensitive your eyes are, the better your chances of seeing meteors. Even brief exposure to light, such as passing car headlights, will restart the adaptation process, so don't turn on a light or cell phone to check the time. The other 4 meteor showers, the July Gamma Draconids, 184 GDR, Alpha Capricornids, 001 Cap, Eta Eridanids, 191 ERI, and Kappa Cygnids, 012 KCG, are expected to produce fewer than 5 meteors per hour under ideal conditions that most of us don't have in urban and suburban environments. But if you're out late in the day or early in the morning and the skies are clear, you may be a little more likely to see meteors. There are no comets expected to be visible this full moon cycle. On Sunday evening, July 21st, 2024, the night of the full moon, when twilight ends at 9:37 p.m. EDT, the rising moon will be 3 degrees above the east-southeast horizon. The bright planet Mercury will be 1 degree above the west-northwest horizon 6 minutes before setting. The planet Venus will set 22 minutes before dusk ends, but will be bright enough to be seen in the brightness of twilight before it sets. The closest bright object in the sky will be Vega, the brightest star in the constellation Lyra, 65 degrees above the eastern horizon. Vega is one of the 3 brightest stars of the Summer Triangle, the other 2 being Deneb and Altair. Vega is the 5th brightest star in our night sky, about 25 light-years from Earth, twice the mass of the Sun and 40 times brighter than the sun. As this full moon cycle progresses, the background stars will shift westward each evening as the Earth moves around the sun, while the planet Mercury will remain low on the west-northwest horizon and shift to the left. On July 24th, Mercury will be 2 degrees below the bright star Regulus, and this will be the last evening that Mercury will be above the horizon when twilight ends. Although it may still appear in the twilight glow before twilight ends, the bright planet Venus will also be visible in the twilight glow, but will not be above the horizon when twilight ends until late August. The bright star Regulus will be 1 degree to the lower right of Venus on August 4th, and Regulus will set 17 minutes before the evening twilight ends. The waxing moon will pass by Venus and Regulus on August 5th, setting before the end of evening twilight, pass by Spica on August 9th and 10, and pass by Antares on August 13th. On August 16th, the planet Saturn will be on the eastern horizon as evening twilight ends. On Monday evening, August 19th, the night of the next full moon, when twilight ends at 8:58 p.m. EDT, the rising moon will be 7 degrees above the east-southeast horizon. The only planet visible in the sky will be Saturn, which will be 1.5 degrees above the eastern horizon. The planet Venus will set 4 minutes before dusk ends, but will be bright enough to be seen in the twilight glow before it sets. The closest bright object in the sky will be Vega, still 80 degrees above the eastern horizon. On Sunday morning, July 21st, 2024, the morning of the full moon, when twilight begins, at 4:52 a.m. EDT, the setting moon will be 7 degrees above the southwestern horizon. The brightest planet in the sky will be Jupiter at 25 degrees above the eastern horizon. Mars will be 33 degrees high on the eastern horizon, and Saturn will be 45 degrees high on the southern horizon. The closest bright object in the sky will be Deneb, the brightest star in the constellation Cygnus, 56 degrees above the west-northwest horizon. Deneb is the 19th brightest star in our night sky and one of the 3 brightest stars in the summer triangle. The other 2 are Vega and Altair. Deneb has about 20 times the mass of the Sun, but it has exhausted its hydrogen and become a blue-white supergiant about 200 times the diameter of the Sun. If Deneb were in the Sun's place, it would extend into Earth's orbit. Deneb is about 2,600 light-years away from us. As this full moon cycle progresses, Jupiter, Saturn, and the background stars will move westward each evening, while Mars will move more slowly and to the left toward Jupiter. The waning moon will pass by Saturn on July 25th, Mars on July 30th, Jupiter on July 31st, and Pollux on August 2nd and 3. Jupiter and Mars will be closest on August 14th, after which they will separate again. On Monday morning, August 19th, the morning of the next full moon, as twilight begins at 5:24 a.m. EDT, the setting full moon will be 5 degrees above the southwestern horizon. The brightest planet in the sky will be Jupiter, 49 degrees above the eastern horizon. Near Jupiter will be Mars, 47 degrees above the eastern horizon. Saturn will be 29 degrees above the southwestern horizon. The closest bright object in the sky will be Capella, the brightest star in the constellation Auriga, at 55 degrees above the east-northeast horizon. Capella is the 6th brightest star in our night sky, and although it looks like a single star, it is actually made up of 4 stars, 2 double stars orbiting each other. Capella is about 43 light-years away from us. On Tuesday, July 30th, 2024, the planet Mars will appear 4 degrees away in the lower right corner of the waning crescent moon, and the Pleiades star cluster will be in the upper right corner of the moon. Mars will rise on the east-northeast horizon at 1:39 a.m. EDT, and the Pleiades star cluster will be 5 degrees away in the upper right corner of the moon. Morning twilight will begin more than 3 hours later at 5:01 a.m. EDT, and the Pleiades will be 7 degrees away in the upper right corner of the moon. As mentioned earlier, the morning of Wednesday, July 31st, 2024, after midnight and before moonrise, will be the best time to look at the South Delta Aquariids 005 SDA meteor shower. Viewing from northern latitudes will be limited, but this shower is one of the most active annual meteor showers for the southern hemisphere, with 25 meteor peaks per hour in ideal conditions. This shower has a broad peak, and rare outbursts have been reported several days before the peak date, as in 1977 and 2003. On these dates, you may have a better chance of seeing meteors after midnight and before moonrise. On Friday morning, August 2nd, 2024, Pollux, brighter than the twin stars in the constellation Gemini, will appear 8 degrees away in the lower left corner of the waning crescent moon. Pollux will rise in the eastern part of the moon at 4:24 a.m. EDT, and morning twilight will begin 41 minutes later at 5:05 a.m. EDT. The next morning, Saturday morning, August 3rd, 2024, the thin waning crescent moon will shift 7 degrees below Pollux. The moon will rise on the east-northeast horizon at 4:59 a.m. EDT, just 6 minutes before morning twilight begins. During this full moon cycle, the planet Mars will move toward Jupiter as it passes over the bright star Aldebaran. On Sunday morning, August 4th, 2024, Mars and Aldebaran will be closest, about 5 degrees apart. Jupiter, Mars, and Aldebaran will form a triangle, with Mars at the top, Aldebaran at the bottom right, same brightness as Mars, and bright Jupiter at the bottom left. Aldebaran will last rise over the east-northeast horizon at 1:53 a.m. EDT and will be 37 degrees above the eastern horizon as morning twilight begins at 5:07 a.m. EDT. Below this triangle, the constellation Orion will be visible. On Sunday morning, August 4th, 2024, at 7:13 a.m. EDT, there will be a new moon, meaning the moon will pass between the Earth and the Sun and will not be visible from Earth. New Moon Day, or the day after, marks the start of the new moon for most lunar calendars. August 4th is the beginning of the 7th month of the Chinese Year of the Dragon. The evening of August 4th marks the beginning of the month of AV in the Hebrew calendar. In the Islamic calendar, the beginning of the months traditionally begins with the first sighting of the crescent moon. Many Muslim communities follow the al-Qura calendar of Saudi Arabia, which uses astronomical calculations to start the months more predictably. According to this calendar, the evening of Sunday, August 4th will likely mark the beginning of Safar, the second month of the Islamic calendar. On Monday evening, August 5th, 2024, if you have a very clear view, especially with binoculars, on the west-northwest horizon, you can see the thin, newborn crescent moon just above the bright planet Venus. The bright star Regulus will be 1.5 degrees below Venus. The planet Mercury, less bright than Regulus, will be 6 degrees to the left below Venus. You may only have a brief window to see Mercury before the twilight glow fades, and Mercury will set 36 minutes after sunset at 8:50 p.m. EDT. Regulus will set 9 minutes after Mercury, 45 minutes after sunset. Venus will set 8 minutes later, 53 minutes after sunset, and the moon will set 6 minutes later, 59 minutes after sunset. This will happen just 6 minutes before the end of twilight at 9:19 p.m. EDT. Venus and Regulus will be closest to each other, within 1 degree of each other, the previous evening, and Mercury and Venus will be closest to each other, within 6 degrees of each other, 2 evenings later, but they will be difficult to see in the twilight glow. On Thursday, August 8th, 2024, at 9:32 a.m. EDT, the moon will reach its farthest apogee. On Saturday evening, August 10th, 2024, the growing crescent moon will have shifted 7 degrees to the left of Spitze as twilight ends, and the pair will separate as the night progresses. Saturday night, August 10th, 2024, will be the night of the double seventh festival, Qixi, the 7th day of the 7th month of the Chinese calendar. This festival is known as Qixi in China, Chil Seok in Korea, and that Th in Vietnam. The couple's 7th festival is sometimes called Chinese Valentine's Day. There are many variations of the legend, but it is usually related to the Milky Way and the three bright stars we know as the Summer Triangle. The star Vega represents the Weaver Girl, and the star Altair represents the Shepherd. They fall in love and neglect their duties, so the goddess of heaven puts a wide river, the Milky Way, in the sky to separate them. Only one night a year, on the 7th night of the 7th month, the star Deneb forms a bridge and brings them together. In some variations of the legend, the bridge is formed by magpies, so the festival is sometimes also called the Magpie Festival. The Japanese Tanabata or Star Festival is based on this legend, but is no longer linked to the lunisolar date, and is celebrated on July 7th, the even 7th day of the Gregorian calendar. As mentioned earlier, this year will be a good year for the annual Perseid 007 PER meteor shower. The Perseids can peak at 100 meteor peaks per hour under ideal conditions. The closest time to the peak of this meteor shower will be the morning of Monday, August 12th, 2024. The moon will set before midnight on August 11th, and the meteors will rise before the onset of twilight in the northeastern sky at 5:16 a.m. before morning twilight begins. The peak is broad and high activity has been reported after the peak in past years, so be sure to keep an eye on the sky on the nights before and after the peak. This meteor shower occurs when dust from comet 109P/Swift-Tuttle enters our atmosphere at 59 kilometers per second, 132,000 miles per hour. Such a rapid entry causes the air to heat up until it becomes white hot from compression. Keep your eyes on the sky to make sure you don't miss these spectacular sky events. If you have any questions, don't forget to share them with us in the comments and subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with the latest sky news. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.